ROLEX Datejust 31 in Oystersteel and yellow gold. It retails for £11,350 in the UK. Let's unbox it together as I give you some of the useful information in regards to the sales experience, as well as what comes in the box, the investment value, and more. The silver dial features a set of 11 diamonds with the overall look complete with a sunray finish, which is very reflective of the light. As for the bezel, it is entirely made of gold with a fluted design. Inside the box you can find a booklet which explores everything further there is to know. The Datejust collection not only features the time, but also the date with a cyclops lens, which just makes it easier to read. Another useful feature is that the watch is waterproof to a depth of 100 meters. Just make sure the crown on the right is tightly screwed on. Kindly, I was given a travel pouch at Bukhara. I suggest you don't shy away from asking as they're very handy. Moving on to the clasp. It's actually concealed as a crown, which makes it very subtle. And here you can see the links that had to be removed to ensure the watch is personalised to my wrist. If we take a look at the open and lock mechanism, all you need to do is pull the crown up to open and back down to close. Just make sure you hear that it clicks into place securely. Now to adjusting the watch. Let's go back to the booklet. You're able to find a step-by-step guide in regards to winding the watch, as well as setting the date and time if it wasn't demonstrated to you during the purchase. Once winded, the power reserve should last you an approximate of 55 hours. So it's actually pretty simple. To wind the watch, unscrew the crown on the side, then turn it clockwise about 25 times, and you'll see the seconds hand begins to move. Allow me to demonstrate. Here's the crown that needs to be unscrewed. Pulling it to the first notch will change the date, whilst pulling to the second will change the time. To understand if it's AM or PM, when the hour hand passes 12 o'clock, if the date changes, then it's midnight. The next step is adjusting the date. Go back to the first notch and turn the crown clockwise. Once you're done, push the crown and begin to screw it tightly. This must be done with care, as leaving it loose will allow water to go into the watch and essentially damage it. Inside the box you will receive a guarantee manual, which insures the watch for 5 years, after the purchase date. This does not, however, cover wear and tear or damage caused from misuse. Before I get further into that, I want to talk about how I was able to get the watch, how long it took, as well as the investment aspect. I purchased the watch through Bukhara, which is an official Rolex retailer. Purchase history is very important, as well as the relationship you have with the sales associate. As my husband already had a purchase history, I was able to receive the offer within a couple of months. I've mentioned this before in previous unboxings. I choose to invest into brands which have long existed and likely to remain, so that I can enjoy it for many years to come. Just be sure that you're preserving the quality. Cleaning the watch is pretty straightforward. A microfiber cloth or water is all that you need. It's important that we look into how we can protect the watch from permanent damage, such as scratches or dents, as these unfortunately do happen. With the Jubilee bracelet, the links are rounded and smaller in comparison to the Oyster. Therefore, scratches, if any, are less visible. Areas which require more care are the larger surfaces, which we take a closer look at. From a distance you can't really see much, but as you get closer, marks are visible to the eye. I recommend that you purchase transparent stickers made custom to your watch. The final point to discuss is that Rolex offers and recommends that your watch is serviced once every few years. This requires that you send off your watch to be dismantled and examined. Here are a few clips off the official website, which goes through all of the stages. Any parts that aren't meeting the requirements will have to be changed. When all the checks have been complete, the watch is sent back, repolished, restoring the shine and removal of any scratches. Please remember that polishing will remove the visible marks. However, a layer will be taken off when doing so. This is why it's not recommended to be repeated often. If a sales associate has told you there's a long waiting list and not even given the care to sit you down and put your request in, my advice is you form a conversation showing you're serious and very interested. If their approach hasn't changed, do visit another store. Eventually you will meet someone who's eager in fulfilling your requests. And that's all for today's unboxing. I hope you found that useful and thanks for watching. I hope you give a like, comment and subscribe before you leave.